Everybody loves ribs, and some of my favorite are the dry rub spare ribs from Memphis. Here's how you make them. Now, first step, and this is a great little trick to keep your cutting board from sliding around. If you just put a damp paper towel on your work surface and then move the cutting board on top, it will stick without moving. Now, baby back ribs come with a membrane on the back, and some people feel that this membrane is tough. So I like to kind of tease it loose, and I'm using here the point of a Phillips head screwdriver, and then with a paper towel to give you purchase, I'm simply going to pull the membrane off the ribs, as you see here. Or you could have your butcher do this. This is called peeling the spare ribs, and it gives you a tender spare rib. Now, the next thing we need to do is make our rub. And I use a basic barbecue rub. It's equal parts salt, pepper, paprika, and brown sugar. And I'm just going to mix these ingredients together. In fact, I like to use my fingers because it helps you break up the clumps of brown sugar. And I'm going to sprinkle the rub on the ribs on both sides. And I like to pat it in with my fingers, rub it in with my fingers. That's, in fact, why this is called a rub. So we'll rub the ribs on both sides, and I'm using these beautiful baby back ribs here. You figure that each baby back rib will serve about 2 people, or one really hungry person. Once our ribs are coated with spice rub, you can cook them right away, but they'll have even more flavor if you let the ribs sit for 4 to 6 hours so the spices can actually cure the meat. And while the ribs are marinating, I want to make my mop sauce. Now, a mop sauce is what gives the ribs extra flavor, and it gives you something to do while you're standing at the barbecue pit. So I have here 2 cups of cider vinegar, and I'm going to add 1/2 cup of ballpark-style mustard, and plenty of salt and pepper to taste. And I'm simply going to stir those ingredients together, and this mixture becomes our mop. And I even have a miniature barbecue mop, looks like a miniature floor mop, which I'll use for mopping the sauce on the ribs. Now, for cooking the ribs, we have 2 options. We can indirect grill the ribs on a regular kettle grill, or we can smoke the ribs in a smoker. Let's see how it works. To indirect grill the ribs, I want to place the ribs on the grill over my drip pan. We have an indirect fire here, and I'm going to raise the little side doors and put either a couple of wood chips or wood chunks or a handful of wood chips on the fire. And I'll do the same in the back. And you'll see in just a moment we'll have some terrific applewood smoke to flavor these ribs. And now I'm simply going to cover the grill. And I want to adjust the top vents to obtain a temperature of about 300 degrees. And we will indirect grill these ribs for about 1.5 hours or until the meat has shrunk back from the bones by